I found a notebook in the attic space yesterday afternoon, buried under blankets from a distant, faded June. The pages were yellow and the edges torn apart, filled with scribbled drawings of a fragile human heart. You used to fold the corners down to mark the things you said before the heavy clouds of doubt collected in your head. We were young and foolish, chasing shadows in the lawn, never thinking for a second that the daylight would be gone. You took a sheet of lined paper and made a little wing, hoping that a simple piece of wood could learn to sing. We stood upon the rooftop where the wind was blowing high, ready to release our tiny glider to the sky. It drifted for a moment, then it tumbled to the ground, into the muddy puddle without making any sound. You looked at me with teary eyes and said it was a sign that everything we ever built would fall apart in time. And now the wind is howling through the rafters of this house. The silence is so loud it seems to terrify a mouse. We try to hold the memories before they turn to dust, but every silver lining is beginning now to rust. Oh, we were flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. I kept that little glider in a shoebox by my bed, a reminder of the heavy words that we had left unsaid. The ink began to smudge until the letters disappeared, just like the happy future that we desperately feared. I see you in the supermarket walking down the aisle. You look away so quickly, but I noticed that you smile. A stranger with a history that matches up with mine, two parallel trajectories that never will align. The neighborhood is changing and they tore the rooftop down, where we believed that we could be the rulers of this town. The concrete replaces all the grass where we once ran, and time destroys the blueprints of our very finest plan. I wonder if you ever think about that windy day, or if you threw the notebook and the memories away. The gravity is pulling every dreamer to the floor, and we don't play those silly childish games here anymore. And now the wind is howling through the rafters of this house. The silence is so loud it seems to terrify a mouse. We try to hold the memories before they turn to dust, but every silver lining is beginning now to rust. Oh, we were flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. Throw it to the breeze, watch it catch a sudden draft entangled in the trees. We thought that we were pilots, but we didn't have a map. We fell into the middle of a beautiful dark track, and you can try to fix the wings with tape and piece of thread, but you can never resurrect the words that we have said. It falls down. The paper always falls down. In the end, it's just a piece of paper on the ground. Oh, we were flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. Just a paper plane in the pouring rain. Gone. You wear long sleeves even when the weather is warm, to hide the physical evidence of your internal storm. You don't like to talk about the history you carry, or the monsters in your childhood that were terrifyingly scary. I watch you navigate the kitchen with a cautious precision, like every single movement was a life-altering decision. You protect your vulnerabilities behind a high stone wall, terrified that if you stumble you will permanently fall. I have my own trauma buried deep in my chest, a heavy metal anchor that will never let me rest. From the time my father walked out on the family home, leaving us to navigate the wilderness alone. We are two damaged individuals trying to survive, using all our energy just to stay alive. But proximity is difficult when touch causes pain, and every conversation is an emotional strain. The bandages are dirty, but we refuse to look below at the deep lacerations that we never dare to show. We are treating our symptoms with a temporary band, too terrified of surgery to let a person understand. We are examining our hidden scars in the mirror today, wishing we could wash the history completely away. The tissue is healed, but the sensitivity remains, a silent ledger of our unacknowledged pains. Yeah, the surface looks smooth, but the damage is deep. You flinch when I try to brush the hair from your eyes, an involuntary reflex that you try to disguise as a casual gesture or a sneeze in the air. But I recognize the symptoms of a deep-seated despair. We are like soldiers returning from an undeclared war, who don't know what they are fighting for anymore. The weapons are put away, but the paranoia stays, governing the conduct of our ordinary days. I found a bottle of settlers behind a vanity glass, a chemical assistance to make the long evenings pass. You take them in secrecy before you go to bed, to quiet all the arguments that occur inside your head. I don't judge open mechanisms because I have my own, a bottle of whiskey that I consume when I am alone. We are self-medicating to survive the night, hoping that the morning will make everything right. The bandages are dirty, but we refuse to look below at the deep lacerations that we never dare to show. We are treating our symptoms with a temporary band, too terrified of surgery to let a person understand. We are examining our hidden scars in the mirror today, wishing we could wash the history completely away. The tissue is healed, but the sensitivity remains, a silent ledger of our unacknowledged pains. Yeah, the surface looks smooth, but the damage is deep. just the disguise, hiding our histories from each other's prying eyes. Don't touch too much. Hey, we are examining our hidden scars in the mirror today, wishing we could wash the history completely away. The tissue is healed, but the sensitivity remains a silent ledger of our unacknowledged pains. Yeah, the surface looks smooth, but the damage is deep. Cover it up, fill the cup, heal. The hallway carpet dampens every footstep that I take. I listen for a sound to prove that I am still awake. The grandfather clock is ticking, but the pendulum is slow, a steady rhythmic pulse that watches hours come and go. Your winter coat is missing from the hook behind the door, and dust is settling softly on the hardwood parlor floor. I remember how your laughter used to bounce against the wall before the shadow of the winter came to change it all. I sit upon the mattress in the corner of space and try to reconstruct the faint expression on your face. The window pane is frosted with a delicate design, an icy barrier between your world and mine. There are no echoes traveling across the empty hall, just heavy drapes that smother every whisper, large or small. We used to talk until the morning sun began to rise, but now the stillness is a blanket covering our eyes. The furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white, a graveyard of conversations buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to the bone. I found a coffee mug you left upon the kitchen countertop, the dark stains at the bottom where the liquid had to stop, a physical reminder of a morning routine shared before we reached the point where neither person really cared. The refrigerator hums a low and melancholy tune beneath the silver glare of a July afternoon. I touch the handle gently, but I do not open wide. There's nothing left to nourish the starvation deep inside. The neighbors think we moved away because there is no light illuminating windows in the middle of the night. We sit in darkness saving on the electricity bill, as if a cheaper lifestyle could cure a mental ill. The floorboards do not creak because we walk so very light, like thieves inside a museum, escaping from the side. We perfected the behavior of a pair of quiet ghosts, destroying everything that we previously loved the most. The furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white, a graveyard of conversations buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. crush us as we fall, but you just stare ahead into the middle of the air with the paralyzed expression of a thorough deep despair. Shh, listen close. It's the sound of nothing left. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our UK is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to the bone. Just a silent room, a quiet tune, hush. We built a castle out of cardboard boxes in the yard and swore that we would guard it like a royal palace guard. We gathered plastic jewels and we placed them on our brow, believing we were monarchs who would never disavow the promises we whispered in the safety of the dark, before the glowing embers turned into a dangerous spark. You wore a golden circlet made of yellow painted wire, shining like a beacon by our little campfire. But sovereignty is heavy for a pair of fragile kids. We closed our eyes tightly underneath our heavy lids. The rain began to fall and made the cardboard turn to mud. The royal tapestry was washed away by a summer flood. Your coronet was twisted when you dropped it on the stone. And suddenly I realized that I was all alone. The kingdom that we fancied was a figment of deceit, as royalty lay bleeding on the cobblestone street. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. I see you walking nowadays without your royal stride. The majesty has vanished and you have nowhere to hide. Your shoulders are bent low beneath the weight of your regret, paying off a massive and an unforgiving debt. We thought we were superior to citizens below, but kings can also stumble when the heavy blizzards blow. The scepter that you carried is a broken piece of wood. You didn't rule the empire the way you said you would. The palace walls are crumbled into piles of gray debris. There is no royal navy sailing out upon the sea. We are just ordinary people, stripped of all our titles now, forced to face reality and make a final bow. The court jester is laughing at the tragedy we made, as all the vibrant colors of our coronation fade. A monarchy of madness built on shifting desert sand. We lost our total grip upon the promise of the land. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Oh yeah. Tear down the banner to extinguish all the flames. We are just commoners who played expensive games. You cannot rule a heart with an iron rusty fist. Our names were never written on the legendary list. Take off the jewelry, throw it in the dirt. No amount of royalty can insulate the hurt. Long live the king, that's what they used to sing. But it doesn't mean nothing. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride. Oh, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Drop the crown, watch it tumble down to the ground, to the ground. We sat upon the wooden fence behind the ancient barn, watching farmers bundle up the yellow spinning yarn. The horizon was a canvas filled with amber and apricot hue, reflecting in the drops of fresh and early evening dew. You wore a denim jacket that was frayed around the sleeve, creating a sanctuary where we both could just believe. The world was spinning slower for a moment in the sun before the modern complications had officially begun. The radio was playing a forgotten country tune while we anticipated the appearance of the moon. You stretched your fingers out to catch the filtering light that separated afternoon from the approaching night. We possessed no silver coins or diamonds in our vest, but looking at your expression I felt thoroughly blessed. The shadows elongated as they stretched across the field, revealing every secret that our modesty concealed. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our plate, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. I visit that old pasture when the autumn comes around and watch the deadened foliage falling softly to the ground. The fence has started rotting and the barn is falling down, an extension of the loneliness that paralyzes this town. The amber tint has vanished from the atmosphere above, leaving a monochromatic space devoid of any love. I check my wristwatch constantly to monitor the time, trying to recapture the rhythm of our youth sublime. You moved across the ocean to a city made of glass, when nobody remembers how the simple seasons passed. You chase a different fortune under artificial light, when neon signs illuminate the middle of the night. I wonder if your memory preserved that afternoon, or if the metropolitan pollution made you immune to the beauty of a sunset that required no display except the simple magic of a day fading away. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. Watching our kingdom drown. The darkness is the ocean that is swallowing the shore, and we won't feel that specific warmth inside our bodies anymore. The spectrum is shifting from the orange to the blue, and there is nothing I can do to stay with you. Just like the words you said. Golden glow, golden glow, golden glow, let it go. And golden glow, dusk. The thermometer plummeted below the 0 mark when we were walking slowly through the residential park. We zipped our heavy parkas up against the northern breeze, watching our breath crystallize above the frozen trees. The wool was a barrier that kept the warmth inside, but also served to complicate the feelings we would hide. We looked like two astronauts exploring outer space, insulated completely from each other's embrace. You wore a thick scarf that covered up your chin, preventing any syllables from escaping within. The buttons were massive and the fabric was so dense, a textile variation of a defensive picket fence. confidence. We held hands through our mittens, but we couldn't feel the skin. An artificial contact where no passion could begin. The winter was an excuse to keep our distance justified, while the true emotional frostbite was happening inside. The blizzard is howling and the icicles are pinned, a frozen termination to a relationship we can't defend. We are wrapped in layers of defensive insulation here, too terrified of vulnerability to let each other near. Oh, we are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. The padding is thick, but our hearts are freezing cold, trapped inside the stories that we never fully told. Yeah, the garments protect us, but they keep us apart. I see a heavy overcoat hanging in the hall, a dark silhouette against the wallpapered wall. The pockets are filled with lint and ticket stubs from plays we attended together during our warmer days. I touch the collar gently, but the texture makes me shudder, a woolen reminder of the words we didn't utter. We thought that the protection would endure until July, but summer never happens when the spirits choose to die. The radiator clanks inside the living room tonight, but it cannot alleviate the chill within our sight. We sit across the table with our heavy sweaters on, a pair of Arctic explorers whose compass is all gone. The frost is accumulating on the inside of the pain, a meteorological metaphor of our internal pain. If we took off the garments, we might perish from the cold, so we keep ourselves encased in the fibers of old. The blizzard is howling and the icicles are penned, a frozen termination to a relationship we can't defend. We are wrapped in layers of defensive insulation here, too terrified of vulnerability to let each other near. We are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. The padding is thick, but our hearts are freezing cold, trapped inside the stories that we never fully told. Yeah, the garments protect us, but they keep us apart. To accelerate the continental shift, but your fingers are too numb to manipulate the clasp, and my hands are shaking far beyond my normal grasp. So we stay encapsulated in our customized cocoons, underneath the glare of freezing winter moons. So cold, too deep, go to sleep. We are hiding in our winter coats, shivering in the snow, waiting for a springtime that we will never know. The padding is thick, but our hearts are freezing cold, trapped inside the stories that we never fully told. Yeah, the garments protect us, but they keep us apart. Heavy wool, empty soul, freeze. tasted the dark marmalade you left upon the plate. A flavor profile that matches our contemporary state. A little bit of sugary sweetness at the very start, followed by an astringent bite that punctures the heart. We cultivated a recipe that was complex and refined, blending the ingredients that our personalities aligned. But the ratio was faulty and the mixture turned sour, leaving an unpleasant aftertaste at this final hour. I remember the honeymoon phase in the orchard by the farm, when every single syllable possessed a therapeutic charm. We pick fresh strawberries from the bushes in the field, savoring the bounty that the fertile soil would yield. But the seasons rotated and the frost came too soon, blackening the vegetation under an October moon. Now the fruit is fermenting in the wooden storage bin, a toxic transformation that is occurring from within. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. A confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. I found a dark chocolate bar in the pocket of your vest, a confectionery treat that you had previously suppressed. I broke off a square and let it dissolve on my tongue, recalling the melodies that we previously sung. It was 80% cacao, intense and severe, an accurate reflection of the atmosphere. Here we don't do simple sugar or cheap artificial treats. We prefer the complexity of these emotional defeats. The coffee machine is dripping in the pantry alcove now as I prepare a beverage to make my final bow. I don't add any cream or the white granulated crystals. We are treating our farewell like the firing of pistols, just a black boiling liquid that is scorching to the throat, a fitting accompaniment to the final note I wrote. We drink to our history and the damage we sustained, savoring the agony that permanently remained. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Spit it out, clear the mouth, rinse the tongue clean, erase the flavor profiles that have come between. But the receptors are stained and the memory persists, a permanent item on our emotional lists. You cannot separate the sugar from the gold when you choose to consume it all. Tonic, syrup, pour it out. The end, we are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Sharp tang, door bang, acrid. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walked down to the postbox at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slot, reviving every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began to rot, and this final correspondence is the only thing we got. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Be heard. Fold it up, seal the bag, let the postman do the chore, because we are not communicating anymore. Dear love, goodbye. each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Postage paid, memories fade, signed. Signed. We constructed a residence out of transparent sheets, overlooking the traffic of the municipal streets. We wanted the world to witness our architectural grace, believing we inhabited a flawless, immaculate space. There were no brick walls or curtains to hide the daily operations that occurred inside. But transparency is dangerous when you have secrets to keep, and the structural integrity was incredibly cheap. You threw a heavy porcelain mug across the living room zone, and the impact shattered a structural silica cone. A spiderweb fracture expanded across the front wall, a terrifying indicator of our impending total fall. We are living in an environment where you shouldn't throw stones, but we are launching projectiles that are fracturing bones. The illusion of perfection is beginning to crack, and there is no glazier who can put the pieces back. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements and the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. Transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. I see the neighbors gathering along the pavement perimeter line, watching the spectacular destruction of your world and mine. We are a public exhibition, a free entertainment show for the curious citizens who live in the valley below. Oh, they watch you pack your suitcase through the transparent floor, and they witness my desperation as I stand by the door. There is no dignity left in this architectural mistake, just a pile of silica that we managed to break. I sweep up the remnants with a plastic bristle broom, but the splinters are scattered throughout every single room. They embed themselves deeply in the soles of my feet, a physical punishment that is thoroughly complete. We wanted to be honest, we wanted to be clear, but the exposure generated a paralyzing fear. We should have built with timber or solid granite block instead of this material that cannot handle a shock. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements and the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. Smash the ceiling, obliterate the remaining pain, let the environment collapse under the internal strain. We don't require protection if the honesty's dead. We don't require a shelter for the things we left unsaid. tumbled down like a crystalline shower, ending our residency at this final hour. Crack, snap, watch it fall. Nothing. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. Silicon dust, broken trust. Silicon dust, broken trust. Silicon dust, silicon dust, broken trust. Clear. We sat upon the wooden fence behind the ancient barn, watching farmers bundle up the yellow spinning yarn. The horizon was a canvas filled with amber and apricot hue, reflecting in the drops of fresh and early evening dew. You wore a denim jacket that was frayed around the sleeve, creating a sanctuary where we both could just believe the world was spinning slower for a moment in the sun before the modern complications had officially begun. The radio was playing a forgotten country tune while we anticipated the appearance of the moon. You stretched your fingers out to catch the filtering light that separated afternoon from the approaching night. We possessed no silver coins or diamonds in our vest, but looking at your expression, I felt thoroughly blessed. The shadows elongated as they stretched across the field, revealing every secret that our modesty concealed. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. I visit that old pasture when the autumn comes around, and watch the dead and foliage falling softly to the ground. The fences started rotting and the barn is falling down, an extension of the loneliness that paralyzes this town. The amber tint has vanished from the atmosphere above, leaving a monochromatic space devoid of any love. I check my wristwatch constantly to monitor the time, trying to recapture the rhythm of our youth sublime. You moved across the ocean to a city made of glass, where nobody remembers how the simple seasons pass. You chase a different fortune under artificial light, when neon signs illuminate the middle of the night. I wonder if your memory preserves that afternoon, or if the metropolitan pollution made you immune to the beauty of a sunset that required no display, except the simple magic of a day fading away. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing the gold turned into lead, just like the word you said. Hold the light, preserve the spark, don't let the sun go down. We are just two spectators watching our kingdom drown. The darkness is the ocean that is swallowing the shore, and we won't feel that specific warmth inside our bodies anymore. The spectrum is shifting from the orange to the blue, and there is nothing I can do to stay with you. Sun sink, eyes blink, darkness, 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 darkness. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. Golden glow, let it go. Dusk. We built a castle out of cardboard boxes in the yard, and swore that we would guard it like a royal palace guard. We gathered plastic jewels and we placed them on our brow, believing we were monarchs who would never disavow the promises we whispered in the safety of the dark, before the glowing embers turned into a dangerous spark. You wore a golden circlet made of yellow painted wire, shining like a beacon by our little campfire. But sovereignty is heavy for a pair of fragile kids. We closed our eyes tightly underneath our heavy lids. The rain began to fall and made the cardboard turn to mud. The royal tapestry was washed away by summer flood. Your coronet was twisted when you dropped it on the stone, and suddenly I realized that I was all alone. The kingdom that we'd fancied was a figment of deceit, as royalty lay bleeding on the cobblestone street. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. I see you walking nowadays without your royal stride. The majesty has vanished and you have nowhere to hide. Your shoulders are bent low beneath the weight of your regret, paying off a massive and an unforgiven debt. We thought we were superior to citizens below, but kings can also stumble when the heavy blizzards blow. The scepter that you carried is a broken piece of wood. You didn't rule the empire the way you said you would. The palace walls have crumbled into piles of grey debris. There is no royal navy sailing out upon the sea. We are just ordinary people stripped of all our titles now, forced to face reality and make a final bow. The court jester is laughing at the tragedy we made, as all the vibrant colors of our coronation fade. A monarchy of madness built on shifting desert sand. We lost our total grip upon the promise of the land. within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Tear down the banners, extinguish all the flames. We are just commoners who played expensive games. You cannot rule a heart with an iron rusty fist. Our names were never written on the legendary list. Take off the jewelry, throw it in the dirt. No amount of royalty can insulate the hurt. Long live the king, that's what they used to sing, but it doesn't mean that we are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Drop the crown, watch it tumble down, oh, to the ground. An old album sits upon the dusty wooden shelf, a portrait of a boy who looks a bit like myself, beside a girl with the ribbons in her tangled golden hair, sitting on a blanket in the middle of the square. The colors have all shifted into shades of pale and gray, like chemical reactions washing memories away. I trace the silver outline of your unforgettable face, stuck inside a pocket of a long forgotten place. The Polaroid camera made a clicking sort of noise back when we were playing with our favorite childhood toys. We waited for the image to develop in the sun, counting all the seconds until everything was done. The chemical solution captured moments in a flash before our little kingdom came to crumble in a crash. Now look at how the edges are beginning to unglue, just like the connection that I shared along with you. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. I found another snapshot in the pocket of my coat, wrapped around a tiny and a handwritten short note. You said you would love me till the oceans all went dry, but oceans turned to deserts and the clouds deserted sky. The camera never lies, but it omits the painful part. It doesn't show the cracking of a heavy human heart. It only shows the laughter and the sunshine on the beach, while keeping all the misery far out of human reach. I try to remember what you said right before the click. The memory is playing like a cruel and wicked trick. The audio is missing, though the visual remains. A gallery of pleasure that is shielding all the pains. The chemical emotion is decaying on the sheet, while I am walking lonely down the suffocating street. If I could take another shot, I'd change the focal length to see if our relationship possessed a greater strength. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. So hard to prove, but a photograph is static. It can never change its mind, leaving all the explanations somewhere far behind. Shake the picture, wait for light, hope it turns out fine, but you cannot rewrite the script of your life and mine. Just a ghost in a frame. I barely know your name. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay.